Hi guys, I'm Jennifer and welcome to my channel, Mint Green Gypsy. Today we're going to be making over 4 baskets that I found at the thrift store. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for spending your time with me today, and I hope you enjoy these easy projects. I got this basket at the Goodwill bins and it came without its lid. I thought it would be prettier in a lighter color, so I took out my Fusion Mineral paint in the color Raw Silk. I am dry brushing this basket, so I am dipping my brush in the paint, painting off the excess on the paper next to me, and then lightly painting the basket. Fusion's Raw Silk is a beautiful creamy white color, and it is one of my favorite go-to colors. Fusion Mineral paint has a built-in sealer, so it will not be necessary for me to top coat this basket when I'm done painting. I wanted to add some more dimension to the basket, so I am painting a coat of Fusion's Algonquin, which is a darker taupe. This is another versatile and popular Fusion color. I just went back and forth dry brushing Raw Silk and Algonquin until I achieved the look I wanted for the basket. For the next step, I got out my new Iron Orchid Designs transfer pack called Wild Bloom, and I cut out a small flower to fit on a tag. This is a beautiful transfer pack with flowers, birds, butterflies, and beetles. I think it would pair great with the IOD Brocante transfer pack as well. I'm laying down my transfer and using the tool that is included in your pack to rub the transfer onto my wood tag. And then I added a beetle to the leaf of my flower. I tied a gold cord to my tag, added a wood bead, and gave the transfer a sealer. To finish, I put some gold wax around the edge of the tag and some faux florals in the basket. And here is the completed project. Let me know how you like it in the comments. For project 2, I thrifted this green tobacco basket that you see on the edge of the screen, and I'm making a wood plaque to go in the center. I got inspiration for this project from the YouTube creator at Wood, Wine, and Crafts. If you are not familiar with her channel, you should check her out, and I will put a link in the description box of this video. I painted the wood piece from Dollar Tree with Debi's DIY paint in the color White Swan. I'm taking a section of decoupage paper called Typography Love by Roycycled Treasures. This paper is part of the new Spring 2025 release. First, I spritz my paper with water, and then I paint my wood piece with Debi's DIY liquid patina in clear, and then lay my paper down and gently press out any air bubbles. After the liquid patina has dried, I use a medium grit sanding pad and sand off the excess paper. I cut out a moth from the Brocante IOD transfer pack, and I am applying it over the typography decoupage paper. Next, I gave the transfer a protective top coat, and after that dries, I finish it with some gold wax around the edge. The last step of this project is to use Titebond wood glue and glue the plaque to the basket. I lay some jars of paint on top for weight and let it dry overnight. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love for you to subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. I did add some beads of hot glue for a temporary hold while the wood glue was drying overnight. And here is your finished project. For project 3, we are going to make over the single paper plate charger that came from the Goodwill bins. I'm using a paintbrush and some water to make a circle on this watercolor paper. And then I'm going to tear out the circle so the paper sits in the center of the basket charger. To give the edges of the paper an aged look, I'm using Fusion's Antique Glaze and then wiping back the excess with a wet wipe. Next, I am dry brushing the basket with Debi's DIY paint in the color Black Velvet. Black Velvet is an off-black color and is another of my go-to colors. Debi's DIY clay paint is an all-natural paint with only 5 ingredients. It actually smells like fresh dirt. It does not have a built-in sealer, which makes it perfect for blending and wet distressing. You always have to seal this paint when you're done because it reconstitutes when it's wet. I decided that I was going to dry brush white Swan along the frame of the basket, but in the end I didn't like it, so I covered it up with Black Velvet. I have been saving this adorable sheep from the Brocante IOD transfer pack for the perfect project. It fit perfectly on this basket, and I thought it would be so cute hanging on a wall somewhere. So I am using the transfer tool and transferring the sheep onto the watercolor paper. The backer popped off the paper before the words were completely transferred, so I lined it back up as closely as I could and I transferred the remaining words. I took the basket outside and sprayed it with Rust-Oleum clear coat, then let it dry. I'm using Aldine's tacky glue and applying it to the raised surface of the basket. And this is where I wish I would have attached the watercolor paper to something heavier like cardboard or even a paper Amazon mailer. I could have painted it white to match the watercolor paper, because after I glued the paper to the basket and it dried, it caused bumps in the paper. So if you are inspired and are going to try this project, learn from my mistake. I will be salvaging the sheep and reworking this project, but for now, this is how it turned out. This is a really quick basket makeover. Whenever I see a good quality basket in good condition at the thrift store, I always pick them up. If I can't use the basket at my house, then I will put it in my shop. I have several of these square baskets and I use them on my dining tables to hold napkins. This basket will be going in my shop, but first we are going to dry brush it. I am using Debi's DIY paint in the colors Prairie Gray and Crinoline. I'm going back and forth with these colors until I am happy with the look of the basket. After the paint dried, I took the basket outside and sprayed it with clear Rust-Oleum spray paint. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week.